I've been pretty much screaming from the mountaintop for almost 3 years about the idea that the devil's in the details. And anybody that's truly down in that muck, looking for an exit through the details, it isn't going to work. You got to take a macro view, see how things really are, and realize that maybe you're dealing with, maybe the whole damn story is wrong. I mean, when I brought to light that the Bible was a copyrighted piece of literature, and that the certificate of live birth person is a character within that copyrighted piece of work, now all of a sudden you realize that if you're going to wear the clothing of that character, you're subject to the author or the copyright holder of that work. So now what's the problem? You see, when you have a different set of eyes, you can start to deal with the real problem, which might be all of it. Maybe all of it's the problem. Maybe if you believe that in the beginning, i.e. Genesis, is your world, maybe that's the problem. Maybe you go into that alternate universe through a belief system in the beginning, because the words in the beginning, not to step on toes, is the beginning of a story, which terminates with the destruction or the end of that story or world. It doesn't end reality. And it also doesn't begin reality. It's the beginning of a story, and it's the end of a story at Revelation. But the world, reality, is way bigger than that story. So if you're willing to subject yourself to copyrighted material, then be willing to bend a knee to the owner of that copyright, because that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. So you got to back out far enough and realize that a story is just a story. An author is just an author. Authority and author are one and the same. So if you're going to live by a literary character, you're going to die. Remember, there's another weird saying that the pen is mightier than the sword. You better damn well believe that, because the pen is what's enslaving the planet. So my whole thing is to take the Rosicrucian colored glasses off and start looking at objective reality and stop following the lemming in front of you, and start thinking for yourself. You know what? When something is right in front of you, it is right in front of you. You shouldn't be able to get talked out of it. If somebody's getting beaten down by a cop right in front of you, understand that there's something going wrong there. That's not acceptable behavior. But we have been conditioned to believe that kind of stuff is acceptable. Oh, he must have done something wrong to deserve that. No. Very rarely are people going to prison because they did something wrong. Very rarely. It's all commercial, and it's all copyright, which is what's sending people to prison.